All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Snowman Multimedia Sports Network's live coverage of the WNBA Draft as they are getting ready to get started very, very shortly. And I did not put an intro together for this, nor an outro. We're just going to roll old school the way that I did when I first got started in doing this. So everybody stay with me. We're going to give you every single pick and my thoughts on where the pick lands, how they will do. Callie Greenshields is the first one here with us. Daniel Berry, one of the first ones with us as well. You got names like Flau'jae Johnson, Azzi Fudd, Lauren Betts, of course, Kiki Rice, Gabriela Jaquez. Who else do we have in this draft? Angela Duga-Leach, which is one of my favorite super subs of all time. Of course, played for national champion UCLA. Couple pieces of WNBA notes. Angel Reese is now gone from Chicago. She was traded to Atlanta in one of the biggest moves. Satu Sabali now is signed with New York. Nneka Ogwumike is in Los Angeles. She leaves Seattle. And so does Skylar Diggins. Skylar Diggins is now in Chicago. So it's a total revamp in Chicago. So there's so many news and notes that we talked about it this morning. Gabby Williams leaves Seattle, signs with Golden State to give them a little more stability in the backcourt. And those are just some of the moves. Dallas is first. And hang with me, folks. We're going to get through this. That's not. There we are. That's the one we're looking for. All right. The first round tonight is brought to you by Invader Coffee. Whenever you're fueling up and getting ready for your day, choose Invader Coffee. Fuel for the fearless. You know what? The heck with this. The Fever are indeed looking good with the signings they have. Monique Billings is now in Indiana. I got word earlier that there's a chance Natasha Cloud may sign with Indiana, awaiting a confirmation on that. Of course, Caitlin Clark is back for a full season. Kelsey Mitchell is back on a 1-year deal. Olivia Miles, one of the prospects we're looking at out of TCU. Hey, what's up, Victor? Draft's just getting started, my friend. In fact, Victor, I'm in the regular studio. If you can join me, I would love it if you could. And we are awaiting that very first pick. Last few sets of pictures are being taken. The draft is taking place in New York tonight. I will have coverage of the WNBA this year with a Thursday night game. Of course, I'll have coverage of the Indiana Fever. He's at the gym. He'll jump on when he gets home. Okay, Victor, I'm in the regular studio. I made sure I got my workout in earlier, and I may do one later tonight. They're talking to Corey Close right now, the head coach of the national champion UCLA Bruins. And I'm waiting to see who the Fever draft, because in all 3 rounds, they're going to pick at number 10. The great Holly Rowe, the legendary Holly Rowe, conducting her pre-draft interviews, and now they're talking to Lauren Betts. It's going to be fun to see who goes where. Potential UCLA draft picks: Lauren Betts, Kiki Rice, Gabriela Jaquez, Gianna Neekins, Angela Dugalich, and Charlize Ledger-Walker. Of course, Charlize Ledger-Walker played at Washington State, was the Pac-12 tournament most valuable player, then transferred to UCLA. You know what she did this past season. But the 3 to watch are Betts, Rice, Lauren Betts, Kiki Rice, and Gabriela Jaquez. My wild card is always going to be Angela Dugalich. And that's a personal connection for me because she played at Maine West outside of Chicago. The ESPN crew, of course, headed by the great Ryan Rucco and, of course, the legendary Rebecca Lobo. Those two will be together calling games. I'll have coverage. Zakia, welcome to you. Hey folks, let me know in the chat where you are chatting from, and we'll give you a proper shout out here tonight. But considering the fact that I am covering the Fever this year, imagine if the Fever snatch up super sub Angela Dugalich at number 10. I don't expect it to happen, but we will see. We will see. And we're waiting for Kathy Engelbert, the commissioner, to make the first announcement of the night. And I believe it is about to happen right now. Kathy Engelbert's walking. Whoops, she doesn't have a card in her hand. I guess she's just welcoming people to the. Callie says she's in the Dominican Republic. Folks, Callie's one of the great members of our channel. We're trying to increase those numbers this summer. So if you like what you see and what you hear about our coverage of the WNBA as well as women's basketball, women's sports in general, which is where the pivot is going to happen, then why don't you do me a favor? Hit that like button, hit that share, and subscribe. And also, if you could, become a member of this great channel for as low as $2.99 per month. We also have a play-by-play channel that we are officially debuting come April 25th when we start our coverage of the WNBA, and it's going to feature it's going to feature the Indiana Fever, but we will also present a WNBA Thursday game of the week. And you know, a name I omitted, and I feel so bad that I omitted it because I worked her games most of the year. Azzi Fudd from UConn. So we're waiting to see how that goes. Well, while she makes her opening remarks, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, I believe it will be time for the draft to get started. So hang out with us as we're covering the WNBA draft tonight. You're hearing it live on the Snowman Multimedia Sports Network.
Hey, Eagles fan. Join my man Cool McCain and a host of others as they break down every single game, every single week in an objective manner, and also from a fan's perspective as well. Remember, this cast feels just like you. Nobody likes you. And you don't care. Fly, Eagles, fly. Eagles Elite Podcast. Every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and other podcast outlets. Join Ryan McCarthy.
I became a Jets fan because Kurt the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green, and the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
And Dustin Henry.
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps.
As they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Where, Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. On YouTube and where you can find all podcasts.
Victor drops our first question of the night, and it goes like this. Does her loss at the Final Four hurt Fudd's draft stock? Not a chance. Not a chance. The Dallas Wings are on the clock. Their key additions include Jessica Shepard and Alana Smith. They lost Diamond Miller, who was traded to Connecticut. And the pick is in. Most say Azzi Fudd. I am one of the few that say Lauren Betts. Both fit. Both of them fit. You got Awa Famthiam from Spain. Of course, Lauren Betts from UCLA. Flashe Johnson out of LSU. Kiki Rice from UCLA. And the guards, point or shooting, are getting taller and taller. Dallas finished last year at 10-34. This is their third number one pick in team history following 2021. And, of course, last year with... All right, here we go. The Dallas Wings pick is in. And is Azzi Fudd from Connecticut. And we had talked about it this morning on Snowman in the Morning. A lot of people thought Azzi Fudd would go to Dallas, and it's a great call. It's a great call considering the closeness she shares with Paige Beckers, and it's a great fit for them considering the bigs that they signed on during the offseason. So Azzi Fudd, former most outstanding player in the NCAA tournament last year, the 7th UConn player selected first overall. No other school has more than 2. How about that? How about that for the strength of UConn? Victor, that should answer your question. A toast to Azzi Fudd, who goes number 1 overall to the Dallas Wings, and she is going to have an immediate impact. She is going to have an immediate impact. Of course, you know the resume of Azzi Fudd at UConn, overcame a couple of devastating injuries, won a national championship in 2025. Very, very sharp shooter, shooting guard, 5'11". She hit 117 three-point field goals, led Division I and 4th most in UConn history. If you can lead the country in three-point field goals and be 4th in your school's history, she shot 42% from the floor, 6th highest in Big East history. UConn players drafted first overall. Of course, you remember Diana Taurasi, Tina Charles, Maya Moore, Brianna Stewart, Paige Beckers, and now Azzi Fudd. So back-to-back years, UConn alums have been drafted first, of course, last year with Paige Beckers, and now this year with Azzi Fudd. That is going to be a dynamic backcourt. Very, very dynamic because those two know each other. They played at the same school under the same coach. Jose Fernandez, the head coach for the Dallas Wings, putting a pretty good squad together. And beginning with this coverage tonight of the WNBA draft, and beginning next week, we'll have WNBA weekly. We'll have that WNBA show. I nearly said the wrong title because WNBA Weekly has been taken. Oh, that title has been taken. So we'll have that WNBA show beginning next week. We'll let you know the days and the times as she is doing her post pick interview right now. And I'm happy for the young lady. Look at the radiant smile on her face. She is so excited. Do you think, Callie says, do you think Gino will retire soon? No. It will take a 13th championship for him to walk away. The way this season ended, especially with all the controversy surrounding it, he's not going to walk away. It would have to take something even more drastic than his clash with Dawn Staley for him to walk away. He's too competitive. It's the Italian in him. He is too competitive to walk away. That may be a help, that may be a hindrance to him, but Gino Auriemma has set the standard at UConn. This postseason incident notwithstanding. But come on, man. He is not going to retire anytime soon. I'm going to do this because I'm having trouble with my feed again. So here is how we will do that. I'll just use my phone. Pure Adrenaline Sports is on live right now. The Minnesota Lynx are on the clock. There we are. And I think we got it back on the big screen. All right, the pick is in for Minnesota. I want to guess Lauren Betts. And it's Olivia Miles out of TCU. Olivia Miles out of TCU goes second tonight. Surprise. For me, that's a surprise. I thought it would be Lauren Betts that would go first, but it is not. It is Azzi Fudd that goes first, and in the second spot is Olivia Miles. And they need to replenish their talent because they're going to be without Nafisa Collier for what could be the bulk of the season. Each team will have 2 minutes to make this. Will have 2 minutes to make their selection, and we're going to bring them all to you right here. So the first pick is Azzi Fudd out of UConn, and the second pick is Olivia Miles out of TCU, formerly played at Notre Dame with Hannah Hidalgo. So are y'all surprised that Betts has at least for the moment slipped to third? I'm kind of surprised because Chris Dietz said this morning that it was 1-2 with Fudd and Lauren Betts, and I thought that it would be that way too. But no, it's not the first two. They're both guards have gone 1 and 2. One is Azzi Fudd, 2 is Olivia Miles. We're gonna wrap all this up later. We're gonna wrap this draft up later this week. And I want to get you guys' thoughts on this also. Are you guys surprised that Olivia Miles went second instead of Player of the Year Lauren Betts? Now, Miles is a fantastic player. Not saying otherwise. We'll never say otherwise. But that Minnesota team may wind up being fun to watch after all. Besides who goes top 5 in the order, the picks I'm paying attention to belong to the Indiana Fever in all 3 rounds. And all right, the Seattle Storm picked next, and then the Mystics, and then Chicago. Does Lauren Betts fall to Chicago at number 5? I don't know. They're at the Shed at Hudson Yards in New York City, which is where the draft is taking place. Early reactions from everybody as the WNBA celebrates its 30th year this year. We're going to take a break, and when y'all come back, more picks and more analysis. This is the 2026 WNBA Draft on SMSN.
Join Ryan McCarthy.
I became a Jets fan because Kurt the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green, and the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
And Dustin Henry.
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps
as they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. On YouTube and where you can find all podcasts. Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can beat up black people.
As he takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel.
Analyst next. They added Stephanie Dolson and Katie Lou Samuelson, Skylar Dickens, Nneka Ogwumike, and Gabby Williams are all gone from Seattle. And of course, you know the question, which way will they go? The playmaker hung out with us on Snowman in the Morning this morning, and he thinks the superstar from Spain is going to go in the top 3. Raven Johnson from South Carolina also available. Seattle finished 23-21 last year. They finished 7th. They got in the playoffs, but then they lost to eventual champion Las Vegas. Noelle Quinn was fired after losing to Las Vegas last year. Sonia Rahman is the new coach. Brittany Sykes also gone. Mentioned Gabby Williams, Skylar Diggins, Nneka Ogwumike. So they lost about 55 points of their scoring last year. Natasha Heidemann, Katie Lou Samuelson, Stephanie Dolson, all big additions for Seattle because they got poached. And I think we're ready. Let's hear from Kathy. Playmaker called it. Awa Fam Tiam from Spain, 6'4" center. Going to be dynamic in that Seattle lineup. So they get a huge piece back. But can she make up for the scoring that Seattle lost? Because remember, as I mentioned, Skylar Diggins gone from Seattle. She is now with Chicago. Awa Fam Tiam. That's going to be a fun name to pronounce. Played with Valencia Basket in Spain. Great set of post moves, great footwork, and she's got a lefty hook to her also. Matter of fact, she's a southpaw, period. No, I take that back. I'm looking at highlights. She's a righty, but she does have a lefty hook. With Valencia Basket, she averaged 9.2 points per game and 4.8 rebounds, and they're going to need her to get big in the post. I say almost immediately, because most of their scoring is going to come from inside. So Sue Bird and company get a very, very tremendous player. And Fam Tiam was the 2024 FIBA Under-20 Women's Eurobasket MVP. And I love what they're doing as they're showing earlier pictures of the players from earlier in their lives and in their careers. She's the 7th international player drafted top 3 in WNBA history. Not only am I interested to see what the Indiana Fever do, I'm also interested to see what the Golden State Valkyries do off of what is basically their record-breaking season. Because their rookie season, they wound up in the playoffs. They lost to, if memory serves me correct, they lost to New York in the first round. Her career debut, Awa Fam Tiam, was with Valencia Basket in 2021 at 15 years of age, the youngest to ever play for a team. We're getting all kinds of notes here as we go along here tonight. Washington is on the clock, and then Chicago after them to round out the top 5. And I'll ask a question that I asked just a moment ago. Does Lauren Betts fall to Chicago at number 5, or will the Mystics take a chance on Lauren Betts? Betts is still out there. Flau'jae Johnson still out there. Kiki Rice, Gabriela Jaquez. Those are the top 4 that are best available right now. Of course, you have Raven Johnson out of South Carolina, Gianna Neepkins out of UCLA. Washington is on the clock next at number 4. They were 16-28. They missed the playoffs, finishing 10th, and they missed the playoffs for the second consecutive season. Last year, they got Sonia Citron, Kiki Irifin, and Gianni Amour. They are due to pick this year 4, 9, and 11. They got one pick in 2027, one first-round pick in 2027, and 2 in 2028. So in case you're joining us late, Azzi Fudd was the number 1 pick. Georgia Amour, Shakira Austin, Sonia Citron, and Kiki Irifin, key returners. Michaela Onyenware, coming over to Washington from Chicago. Stephanie Dolson departs Washington and joins Seattle. And the pick is in for Washington. And let's see how this goes. Let me get her voice up here. Hold on. Bingo. Lauren Betts, the recent NCAA champion, is going to the nation's capital. Immediate impact, because so much for Lauren Betts. Corey Close crying tears of joy. All her UCLA teammates, man, oh man, she's gonna have fun teaming up with former USC Trojan Kiki Irifin and also Sonia Citron to distribute the ball to her. And you know the resume of Lauren Betts. As I mentioned, this past year, won the NCAA championship with UCLA, was also the most outstanding player. She was the Big Ten Player of the Year and the the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. And at 6'7", you can immediately instill her in the post and just let her go to work. 4th pick overall, first-round pick Lauren Betts, averaged 21, 9, and almost 3 blocks per game in this recent tournament. A UCLA single tournament record of 126 points. This past year, she averaged 17 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 blocks per game. All led the team. Now Holly Rowe is going to do her interview with Lauren Betts, and it's going to be good to see number 51 in red and blue, a 2-time first-team AP All-American. So to recap so far, Azzi Fudd went first overall, then Olivia Miles, and then Awa Fontiem, and now the Player of the Year, Lauren Betts, goes 4th. The Big Ten Player of the Year and the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. And last year, she was also the Naismith Defensive Player of the Year last year. Coach Corey Close and the bunch, all smiles. Betts leaves UCLA with a UCLA career record, 235 blocks, and she did all that in 3 seasons in UCLA. She's the 2-time Lisa Leslie Center of the Year, named it after a great center. So a lot of accomplishments for Lauren Betts. And the most recent one is the one that she has been desiring for the longest time. She finally got it, and that is the national champion. Chicago is next. They finished 10-34 last year, second fewest wins in franchise history. They average 75.8 points per game. That's the fewest in the WNBA. Camila Cardoso out of South Carolina, 13 points, 6 rebounds. but they traded Angel Reese to Atlanta. Courtney Vandersloot has signed for 2 more years. They finished 12th in the standings this past year. And as mentioned, it's the second worst in franchise history. So Chicago is on the clock. Toronto is next. And since they've won the WNBA championship in 2021, they finished with a losing record since then. And we are ready to hear Chicago's pick. Here's Kathy. Oh, nice pick. Nice pickup. You're getting a defensive dynamo who can score the basketball, and you can immediately instill her into the starting lineup. Another UCLA veteran, 6 feet tall. Again, part of that national championship team, and she is so versatile. She is so versatile, and I say it again, she can immediately be instilled into that Chicago lineup. So Corey Close seeing all her seniors graduate. Lauren Betts to Washington. Gabriela Jaquez now going to Chicago. You still got Angela Duga-Leach. That is out there. I'm waiting to see where she goes, the former Maine West Warrior. And man, and there's one thing I love about Gabriela. 2 things I love about Gabriela Jaquez. First of all, she's a relentless rebounder. She's also a defensive whiz. She can pick your pocket at any time. In the post, she can use either hand. And as mentioned, she can just flat out score the basketball. So the last 2 picks, Washington selecting Lauren Betts at number 4, and then Gabriela Jaquez at number 5 to Chicago, both Bruins. And Jaquez played on the UCLA softball team in 2024 in the Women's College World Series. Now, the 2 expansion teams are next. Toronto at 6, and then Portland at 7. 8 goes to Golden State. 9 goes to Washington. And then Indiana, who I'm paying attention to, goes at 10. Jamie Jaquez Sr., Angela Jaquez, and this is a family full of athletes. Brother Jaime Jaquez plays for the Miami Heat, so you know the genes are there. You already know the genes are there. Holly Rowe doing her interview now with Gabriela Jaquez. I believe this is a great pickup for Chicago, because now you get, I'll say this frankly, you get the player that Angel Reese was supposed to be. And it looked like Reese was showing a lot of potential, especially, and I go back to the game she played against Iowa in 2024, where she had 17 points and 21 rebounds, all on a bad knee. But it just seemed like she was mismanaged and never took that next step. In the national championship for Gabriela Jaquez, 21 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists in that championship game. And she comes from a family of athletes. She comes from a family of athletes. And they're all wearing Chicago Sky hats now. Her whole family got distributed Chicago Sky hats. I am hoping and praying that Taylor Marsh knows how to use an athlete the caliber of Gabriela Jaquez. Flau'jae Johnson, Kiki Rice are still out there. Lauren Betts is now in Washington. Raven Johnson, Gianna Neekins, they're all out there. Toronto is on the clock. We are going to take a 2-minute timeout, and when we come back, we'll have the picks from the expansion teams, Toronto and Portland, and then we're keeping our eye on Washington and then the Indiana Fever. This is the 2026 WNBA Draft, and you're watching and hearing it live on the Snowman Multimedia Sports Network.
Hey, Eagles fan. Join my man Cool McCain and a host of others as they break down every single game, every single week in an objective manner, and also from a fan's perspective as well. Remember, this cast feels just like you. Nobody likes you. And you don't care. Fly, Eagles, fly. Eagles Elite Podcast. Every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and other podcast outlets. Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze god.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do two circles, and that translates to, I can beat up black people.
As he takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, Pacific time zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel.
2 of 11 teams finished above 500 in their first season. That would be the Detroit Shock. And this recent season, the Golden State Valkyries. Next 3 picks go 6, 7, and 8. Toronto, then Portland, the 2 expansion teams, and then Golden State entering their second season. The new coach for Toronto is Sandy Brondello, champion in 2025 with the 2024, I beg your pardon, with the New York Liberty. Cleveland, Detroit, Philadelphia, all due for expansion. The pick is in for the Toronto Tempo, and we're going to go to the podium with Kathy Engelbert in just a moment. They play their games at the Coca-Cola Coliseum. Sandy Brondello, the former coach of the Liberty from 22 to 25, is the coach for Toronto. Good pickup for them. Julia Aleman, Naira Sabali, Marina Mabry, Aaliyah Nye, Lexi Held, Maria Conde, Isabel Harrison, Maria Klundikova, Aja Kane, Nikola Milic, Katia Laska, Christy Wallace, and Brittany Sykes, the players that Toronto has selected so far. And from what I'm being shown, the pick is in for Toronto. We're waiting for Kathy Engelbert to come to the podium to announce said pick. So the first 5 goes Azzi Fudd to Dallas. We'll recap in a moment. I think Kathy Engelbert is ready, and here's the pick. Oh, 3 straight Bruins get drafted. Lauren Betts to Washington, Gabriela Jaquez to Chicago, and now Kiki Rice to Toronto. So Corey Close has got to be proud. And that's saying the least of it. 5'11" point guard, ultra quick, gets her hands in the passing lanes very well, has a great jumper, can score the basketball. And I'm waiting to see what she does with this Toronto team. And the resume for Kiki Rice, of course, she won the national championship this past year with that loaded UCLA lineup, averaged 14 points, 5 rebounds, and almost 2 steals per game. Those were all career highs for Kiki Rice. Assist to turnover at 2.6, tied for 7th in Division 1. 5'11" out of UCLA, 6th pick overall in the draft. So 3 straight Bruins go 4, 5, and 6. Lauren Betts at 4, Gabriela Jaquez at 5, Kiki Rice at 6. You got Portland next at 7. Then you got Golden State at 8, Washington 9, and Indiana at 10. So many great players available, as now the great Holly Rowe will conduct her interview with Kiki Rice. And it's great to see all of these wonderful players get drafted. Great to see all these wonderful players get drafted. And the 2026 Big Ten Tournament Most Outstanding Player was indeed Kiki Rice. She's a member also of the Big Ten All-Defensive First Team. And remember, this is a team in UCLA that had to transition from the Pac-10 to the Big Ten. 2-time first team All Big Ten is Kiki Rice. And the first ever draft pick for the Toronto Tempo. Rice represents the 3rd first-round pick out of UCLA in this draft, 2 in the previous 18 drafts combined. 2 in the previous 18 combined, and yet 3 in a row here in this draft. In order, Betts at 4, Jaquez at 5, Kiki Rice at 6. Now the Portland Fire are on the clock. And a shout out to my good friend, the playmaker, Darnell Solins, who did a terrific job with shooting lights out earlier today. Drew a blank for a moment. Portland at number 7. Bridget Carlton, Carla Liate from Golden State, Lusa Gesel-Shoulder, Emily Ainsley, Maya Caldwell, Chloe Bibby, former Indiana Fever player. The home games will be played at the Moda Center, same as the Portland Trailblazers. And I know for a fact that place is going to get loud. Their first ever game will be against Chicago on May 9th. Their key additions include Sarah Ashley Barker, Bridget Carlton, as I said, Nika Moole, Carla Liate. And Carla Liate is a headache. And I mean that in the most affectionate way possible, because she gave us fits. The pick is in for Portland. Let's see who they are selecting. Ooh, Diana Martin Carrion. Second draft pick from Spain in this draft tonight. And Iana Martin Carrion, from the as I'm watching highlights from the Spanish Basketball Federation, averaged 14 points, 14 and a half points, 41% field goal percent shooting from the field, played in the 2026 World Cup qualifying tournament with Spain. I'll have to do a little more research on her. 5'9". Okay. The shakeup of the league, Callie says, the shakeup of the league makes this season very exciting. Makes it exciting, makes it very interesting. This is going to be fun. Flau'jae Johnson still out there. Raven Johnson, Gianna Neepkins, Tanaya Latson out of South Carolina. Angela Duga-Leach, I'm waiting to see where she goes, and my inkling is telling me that she's going to wind up in Indiana. Cody McMahon out of Ole Miss, former Ohio State Buckeye as well. I'm keeping an eye on Angela Duga-Leach because, as I said, she played at Maine West, outside, beg your pardon, outside of Chicago. And she was UCLA's super sub. Golden State is on the clock right now at number 8. Golden State got in the 8th slot. They lost against Minnesota. I incorrectly said New York. They're the first expansion team in WNBA history to make the playoffs in their first season, and that team was dynamite. As mentioned, they're the second team to finish above 500 in its first season. The first was the Detroit Shock in 1998. Natalie Nakasi, the runaway choice for the coach of the year, and the pick is in for Golden State. And here's Kathy. Oh, Flage is headed to the Bay. And the look on her face of surprise says it all. Congratulations, Flage. Congratulations. Mom and brother in the audience, and Kim Mulkey there, her coach. Flage played all 4 seasons at LSU, and her heart has got to be beating at 100 miles an hour. Oh man. But just the look on her face says it all. She's very, very excited. 3rd straight draft with an LSU player picked in the first round. 24 with Angel Reese. I missed the other player because the graphic went away. She's a member of the 2023 LSU National Championship team. So she's got championship experience. She's a 2-time Associated Press All-American, 5'10", and she can run. I mean, Flage Johnson can run, and she can create around the basket. So Flage Johnson, first-round selection by the Golden State Valkyries, 2-time first-team All-SEC, one of 6 LSU players to pass 2,000 career points. Just a decorated career for Flage Johnson, and she's going to have a great impact with the Golden State Valkyries, especially with Flage going to a playoff team. Especially going to a playoff team. Her proud mom taking all kinds of pictures, taking all kinds of videos, watching her baby girl soak it all in. So we will recap this first round for you. Last year, Flage, 14 points, 47% shooting from the field, 39 from 3, and I think that's one of the areas where Golden State has to improve is from distance, because the second half of the year, their 3-point shooting went down, and it cost them in the playoffs against the Minnesota Lynx. Her whole family is waving at her while her post-draft interview is being conducted. I'm waiting to see how all these rosters play out. So we have 3 consecutive. Oh, there's a little one running over to greet Flage. Got the Valkyrie hat and got the Valkyrie's hat and everything. So you started with UConn with Azzi Fudd, then you went to TCU / Notre Dame with Olivia Miles. And then got to consult my draft board. I'm sorry. I blanked. I blanked. And my wife loves to tease me that I normally don't do that, but I did this time. I absolutely did this time. So the Washington Mystics are back on the clock, and then the Indiana Fever. Remember, best available, Raven Johnson. Angela Dugalich is now at number 4. Indiana's due in the next couple of picks. They're due at number 10, but first, number 9 belongs to the Washington Mystics. We'll say hi to some more folks in the chat, and our live coverage of the WNBA Draft will continue after this. Blink like that.
Join Ryan McCarthy.
I became a Jets fan because Kurt the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green, and the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
And Dustin Henry.
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps
As they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. On YouTube and where you can find all podcasts.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like Boomstick Lady. No free throw is safe from the roar of her sticks. SeatGeek helps her find a seat in the direct eye line of the shooter so she can sit where her boomsticks make the biggest boom. Everybody okay? SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Hey, Eagles fan. Join my man Cool McCain and a host of others as they break down every single game, every single week in an objective manner, and also from a fan's perspective as well. Remember, this cast feels just like you. Nobody likes you. And you don't care. Fly, Eagles, fly. Eagles Elite Podcast. Every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and other podcast outlets.
We will have live play-by-play coverage of the Indiana Fever all season long, and we will also feature, there we go, a WNBA Thursday game of the week. We're at number 9 now, and let's go to Kathy Engelberg. Doggone it, one pick ahead of my prediction. So the super sub Angela Dugalich heads to the nation's capital to join teammate Lauren Betts. And this is quietly becoming a contender with these two there, because what you have right now with Washington, you have 2 veteran players in Lauren Betts and Angela Dugalich. And Dugalich may wind up in a starting role, but she could serve the team better the way she served UCLA, and that is off the bench as a super sub. 6'4", 8 points, 7 rebounds in the NCAA tournament. Played at Maine West High School, the former Maine West Warrior, out of Des Plaines, Illinois. 9 points, 5.6 rebounds per game. And when she came into the game, she was instant offense for the Bruins. She's the 6th player of the year, which more than likely is going to be her role with the Washington Mystics. But Dugalich is absolutely dynamite. And I can't wait to see what she does with Washington. I say that about all the players they select. It's going to depend on the coaching, of course. It's going to depend on if they can gel together and mesh together. But you have two veterans. You have two veterans, Lauren Betts and Angela Dugalich, play their entire career at UCLA. So you got veterans right there. Most players from the same school selected in the first round. UCLA has 4. And that also happened in 2002. Now you got 6'4" forward. And that is tied for the most from the same school in single draft history. And I stand corrected. Angela Dugalich spent some time at Oregon. I totally stand corrected. Man, I gotta do some better research. But you know something? Woo! Waiting to see what she can do in Washington. So you got Lauren Betts, then Gabriela Jaquez, then Kiki Rice, and now Angela Dugalich, all drafted from UCLA. One more pick in the first round for them, and I think it's going to come from Indiana. And they will have 5 first-round draft picks, which will be the most in draft history. 9 points, 5.6 rebounds per game, as I mentioned. AB Media joins us from Indianapolis, Indiana. Callie Greenshield says the rookie race is going to be interesting, assuming it has already been picked. I don't think so. This is going to be interesting. So now the Indiana Fever are up. Last year they were 8-5 with Caitlin Clark, 16-15 without. Aaliyah Boston, career high in points and assists per game. She has not missed a game in 3 seasons. Kelsey Mitchell, 20.2 points per game, a Fever season record, which I think Caitlin Clark will break this year. Remember, they won the Fever won the Commissioner's Cup, and y'all remember that fallacy by ESPN circling a story out there that the Minnesota Lynx had already wiped out the Fever, and then the Fever turned around and wiped them out. Clark missed 31 games last year with groin and ankle injuries, but the way she played in that FIBA World Cup, man, I'm waiting to see what this is like. I got my friend Allison Moran hanging out with me tonight. What's up, Allie?
Hey, darling. I promised you I'd be here for the draft.
You did.
So,
You did.
and we got my mother taken care of today. So
Sure.
Here I am for you. Damn it.
I was one pick off from guessing where Dugalich was going to land. She lands in Washington, which is a great landing spot for her.
Oh, it's
Great.
terrific. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
She's got the Fever pick at number 10.
Yeah. And they've got Raven Johnson from South Carolina, 5'9", small but mighty.
That backcourt is going to be a terror.
Yes. You know, the thing that
is going to be such a terror for Indiana this year, man. Especially with a healthy Caitlin Clark. You got Kelsey Mitchell, the biggest solidified with Aaliyah Boston, and now you got this little roadrunner in Raven Johnson, who we've seen do some many a great thing at South Carolina. I'll tell you what, man, don't sleep on this Fever team. I'm just saying.
They are contenders plus when you add Caitlin Clark back into the mix. I mean, they did pretty damn well without her last season. And I'm just looking forward to a real, just a real powerhouse. I would imagine that they would contend yet again, and
Yep.
even at a higher level than they did last year. I cannot imagine that,
You know what she-
that
you know what
they
she
won't
adds?
be at the top.
You know what she adds
Go
to
ahead.
this Indiana team? Defense.
Yes.
Because you already got Caitlin Clark who can pick up a pass at any time. Aaliyah Boston down in the post. They were third for a while in steals in the WNBA.
Mm-hmm.
Had Raven Johnson, first round pick out of South Carolina. Oh boy! If you thought they played fast last year, they're going to play. They're going to play even faster this year. AP All America, All America, third team. 145-9 at South Carolina. Only 9 losses at
Not
South
bad.
Carolina.
SEC Defensive Player of the Year.
Yep.
I mean, you gotta look at that, and they need the defense. Let's face it.
They do.
They and I think that as long as she's able to match the pace of this league, that's the one probably in all of the drafts I've ever covered, and all of the times that I have been looking and seeing how the pace is from NCAA to the professional game. The one complaint I've ever had is how much faster paced it is in the WNBA than it is at the college level. So I think that's probably the only thing that I'm really concerned about with Johnson and anybody else coming into the league. The top players, I think, you had Azzi Fudd going at, number 1. I'm so pissed off. I wanted this guy to get her.
You're right. You were going at 5 to Chicago.
Yeah, I wanted her or Flo J Johnson. I wanted either one of them in Chicago, and now I'm pissed because they don't have either one of them in Chicago. So that makes me mad. Right. But we live to tell the tale. We'll see if they really Washington, know what they're doing. Yeah. Cody McMahon, Ole Miss.
Yes.
Yeah. Cody McMahon, Ole Miss.
Cody McMahon out of Ole Miss, former Buckeye as well, played in the 24 NCAA tournament. So now you got Lauren Betts on one side, you got Cody McMahon on the other. Actually, Griffin on one side, Cody McMahon on the other, Lauren Betts in the middle. So you have what could potentially be a dynamic front court for Washington.
Absolutely. Well, look at they had a gaggle of rookies last year from the early draft, and I'm amazed at all of that, and I'm thrilled personally that they got somebody like Cody McMahon at the Mystics. I think they're going to be another team you need to watch this year.
I believe it. Yep.
Yeah.
I think so also. Are you surprised that Lauren Betts fell to number 4 with Washington?
Yes. I honestly thought she was going to go number 1. And
I thought so too.
Yeah. So
I thought Betts would be that perfect complement for Paige Beckers, but now they snatch Azzi Fudd, and Azzi Fudd may be that perfect complement for Paige Beckers with the players they signed in the off season. But also got to remember the players that Dallas lost in the off season.
Yeah, that's true. They did. Go ahead.
This is going to be interesting, to say the least.
Yeah. Well, it's not as expected as they're not doing the things that we expected them to do. Olivia Miles, we talked about. She went number 3. Yep. So it's like come on. I just don't know. It's an interesting draft. Look at now they're showing the Mystics roster now. Georgia Amour, Sonia Citron, Stephanie Dawson, former Sky, Lucy Olson, Madison Scott, Shakira Austin, Alicia Clark, Kiki Irafen, and another former Sky, Michaela Onyenware, and Alex Wilson. So that's going to be a power lineup.
It is.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the Mystics. They might even go back to the days of Elena Deladonna on that team. So we'll see. Did they not win a championship?
And that comparison I made when they drafted Lauren Betts. That's the comparison I made. Is when Elena Deladonna was with Washington. She was good when she was in Chicago. She got better with Washington because they really set her up to flourish. I'm hoping they do the same thing with the players that they have. But now 3 consecutive Bruins, and I may need to call a halt to this because my equipment is starting to go wonky. So I think we're gonna finish the first round at the very we're gonna finish the first round, and then I'm gonna reset everything. Connecticut is next. We will.
Connecticut soon to be Houston. Soon to be
3 consecutive Bruins. Soon to be the Houston Comets. The Comets shall return, and I've been wanting them to return. They should have never went away in the first place.
And it'll be very interesting because the Houston Comets, the first iteration and one of the original WNBA teams, won the first 4 championships. So you got to remember 1997 through 2001, something like that, and and they should have never left Houston.
They should have never left the WNBA, period.
No. But the season, the teams each have a season in some places. You had the Utah Stars at one point, but now they've got other teams that are going to come back in. The Cleveland Rockers are going to be back as of I think 2028, and then there's going to be am I thinking right that there's going to be a team in Philadelphia as well?
Yes.
I thought so. And so we're going to have them coast to coast. I'm thrilled. This is the best thing that could happen.
Also, Detroit makes a return by 2030.
Right. Let's have a shock.
Just bring back the Detroit Shock and the Houston Comets. And the circle will be complete. They're talking to Tina Thompson right now. But 3 consecutive Bruins were drafted, 4, 5, and 6, and it was the 3 players we highlighted in order. Lauren Betts at 4, 5 was Gabriela Jaquez, and then Kiki Rice, the speed demon, went number 6.
Gabriela was an interesting choice for the Sky. I'm trying to figure out how they're going to use her best. What's your best guess?
She's going to be, for me, Jaquez is going to be that utility player, like she was with Corey Close at UCLA, because you can use her inside, you can use her outside. But I think what they want her to focus in on, which is what UCLA did in the tournament, they want her to play defense. Which is Gabriela's specialty.
Yeah, that's true. So, to be honest with you, the Chicago Sky needs all the defense they can get.
Absolutely. They forced the least turnovers in the past 2 seasons. They were the second lowest scoring team. So you got Jaquez for that. She could put the ball in the bucket. Remember what you did in the championship game?
I do.
And it was needed. Very much needed for Chicago to make that pick. The team, the player I had my eye on was Angela Duga-Leach out of UCLA, and she went 1 pick before before I had predicted, because I thought Indiana could snatch her at number 10. But with Washington is slowly building a powerhouse, because now you have their version of the utility player in Duga Leach.
Yeah, I'm thrilled. It's stuff that's been needed for a while on that team. So I'm excited for them. I think it'll be certainly an upgrade. As long as their prep, I can't emphasize enough the importance of the preseason and the training that these guys have to get before they step one foot in the WNBA. Les Grobstein used to have a saying. He used to say that most of these people are going to be flipping burgers by the end of the week.
That's Les.
And unfortunately, that's not so much true today, but at the same time, it's going to take a step up in their games to be able to manage the level of play that's expected in the WNBA, even for teams like the Connecticut Sun, who did one worse than the Chicago Sky this year.
One win worse. Yep.
Yes. And so,
and you know what that extra one win was when Connecticut came to Chicago and blew them out on Chicago's home floor.
How well I remember.
Yeah, which had you pulling your hair out, because we talked about it the next day.
See, there's still a spot.
Well, it wasn't,
and your hair all went out. What?
Oh, my hair was gone well before now.
Yeah.
And I remember you coming on the next day and you just looked in the camera and said, "What the hell happened that night?"
There's another great saying that I have, and I've said it here on the show before: the sun shines on a dog's ass every now and again too. So
Connecticut has made their pick, and it's Nell and Gloma out of France, a small forward.
Not surprising. France has had a powerhouse team for a very long time. There have been more picks out of the French teams in both the WNBA and the NBA over the past few seasons. And hey, Victor Wembanyama, anybody, it's
exactly.
Yeah. And so the women's game is just as good. Now look at the Connecticut roster: Sanaya Rivers, Anissa Morrow, Bria Hartley, Layla Lakon, Tina Charles, Aaliyah Edwards, Kennedy Burke, Lindsay Allen, Diamond Miller, Olivia Nelson Ododa, Haley Peters, can't pronounce I cannot pronounce that name. Magnan Tour. I've not heard of her. And Brittany Griner. Brittany Griner. At least I can pronounce that name. God, I can't believe I stumbled over that one. But possibly a French.
If you only knew half the names I've stumbled over in the past 30 years.
We all have, but we try. We keep trying.
I wanted to ask you, the first two picks were Azzi Fudd and Olivia Miles. So Olivia Miles goes to Minnesota. She'll have an immediate scoring punch with Nafisa Collier being out, still nursing an injury, and that's huge for them.
Yeah.
How immediate of an impact will Olivia Miles have with Minnesota, considering what they need desperately and how they and Seattle got poached in the offseason?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, both of those teams needed an upgrade. I think Olivia Miles will make an immediate impact. I pegged her as somebody who is who can be WNBA ready. If you look at her speed, if you look at how she commands the floor. I think those are a couple of things that stand out to me about Olivia, and I think she's going to make a much needed impact on Minnesota, because I know Cheryl Reeves was pulling her hair out last year.
Oh yeah.
with all the things going on, and I felt so bad for her.
Yeah.
Because she I think she takes it as a personal affront when the players don't do well.
Yeah. Sounds like somebody we know, doesn't it? Gino Auriemma, anybody?
And it's so not true. It's like,
and here's Atlanta's on the clock, and here's their pick, and I'm kind of liking Medina Okot out of South Carolina.
6'6".
6'6".
12.8 points per game. You gotta love it out of Dawn Staley's program, of course, Gamecock, which means she's going to be terribly aggressive, which means that she's going to put up damn fine defense, and it's going to be a real. I like that. My concern. She also appears to be a good outside shooter as well.
She is.
What we need. That's what the Sky needs. That's why I wanted Flo J there.
I mean, you were scouting both Azzi Fudd and Flau'jae Johnson to come to Chicago, but they snatched Gabriella. They draft Gabriella Jaquez instead, and I think Jaquez is going to wind up being that utility player. If you needed to go inside, go inside. If you needed to go outside, should go outside, because you're talking about a player in Jaquez who shot 42% from the field in her senior year.
Right. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. My allergies are kicking. So I'm going to go off for a second.
You go ahead, because I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up here. Two more picks left. Okay. Thank you, Allie. Okay. Oh, boy. Two more picks left in the first round of the draft, and that is probably where I'm going to call it, because my computer is being crazy and I got some stuff to prepare for tomorrow. We'll go through all three rounds later this week with Allison Moran. Seattle is on the clock next. They have a couple of minutes, and then Connecticut will finish off the first round. And what I might do is just reset everything and come back while the second round is in motion, because I am going to need a breather. Matter of fact, I'm going to take a breather right now. Let me take a short break. When we come back, we'll finish off the first round after this.
Hey, Eagles fan. Join my man Cool McCain and a host of others as they break down every single game, every single week in an objective manner, and also from a fan's perspective as well. Remember, this cast feels just like you. Nobody likes you. And you don't care. Fly, Eagles, fly. Eagles Elite Podcast. Every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and other podcast outlets.
Crazy stuff going on here, and I think Allie is back with me. Hang tight a second. See, all these buttons here. Oh, I thought she was here, but she froze. Was it Connecticut who just made their pick? It's Seattle, I beg your pardon, who made their pick. Connecticut's on the clock right now, and Seattle reaches in the ACC, and they get Taina Mayer out of Duke, 5'9", a point guard, which is what Seattle desperately needs. We got one more pick, and then we're going to call a halt to this because, as I said, my equipment's going a little crazy here. And I had the monitor over here going. I think Allie is back with me. And
Hi again. Yeah.
hello again.
Coffee fit was over. Uh-oh.
Taina Mayer is where Seattle went with the 14 pick out of Duke, a point guard. What do you think of this?
I'm not surprised. Mostly because they've lost their key point guards through free agency over the last year. So I am not seeing that is a good. It will not bode well if they do not have a point guard. Yeah. So my thought is that they've got somebody who can be with them for a long time, God willing, and somebody that can hopefully lead. I'm not sure. I sort of look at it a bit on the skeptical side, but let's just say that Seattle will be fielding a rather young team.
Yes.
For the next year or so. Oh man, my picture is freezing up.
It is. Well, we're going to wrap it up with this pick right here. And UCLA just set a record in one draft with 5 first-round picks because Connecticut selects Gianna Neepkins out of UCLA to close up the first round.
Damn. Well, let's just say Corey Close is going to have nobody next year. So enjoy the ride.
This is Corey Close we're talking about. By the time next year rolls around, she's going to have something. Remember, Lauren's little sister is at UCLA right now. Yes,
she is, and she will be the next big player at UCLA. So hopefully, all Lauren's lessons will have rubbed off on her, and now she can be the star.
From the early returns, they have rubbed off on her. We're going to close it out here. Allison, thank you very much for joining me. I really, really appreciate you. I will talk to you on the morning show on Friday.
Sounds awesome. Take care, Big Snowman, and be safe, okay? Enjoy.
I appreciate you. Thank you very much. That'll wrap up our coverage. I know it's premature, but my computer's acting wonky, so I'm going to have to sign off. I'll give you a report later in the night on what happens in the later rounds of the WNBA draft. Good night, everybody.